Richard Simmons workout. Come on, ladies.
Alright, so Audacity is where?
They've actually made a Funko Pop of Richard Simmons, and it looks just as if it's
I saw it at Walmart, yeah.
I was like, why?
What? Well, why not?
We're just going to dredge up dead things from the past. Why don't we just,
Yeah, the fun thing about it is, now that I know that it can still catch our voices, if we have something funny, when we're not watching something, I can at least go back and still grab it. And not have the audio file. So, Dan, have you ever heard of Orson Welles?
Yes. Orson Welles.
What is he most famous for?
I think he's the wrong person, the popcorn guy. Orson Welles is the writer.
no.
Over bias. Orson Welles.
We got bagels! He's not the popcorn guy.
Would you like to take this one? He's most popular for his...
I want to say that would be Ironsides. Orson Welles is from the past, and he was a lawyer, wasn't he?
Oh, that guy down there, okay.
He was the
Kinda
infamous
like
radio voice
Yes,
that
alien.
screwed with...
Yeah.
And the world.
Yeah, and
That's
had
all he
everybody
did.
in a mass panic.
Audio voiceover?
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
all he did?
For the most part.
I know he did some acting.
Right.
But he did a commercial for
Oh, yeah.
French champagne.
yeah.
And they made fun of it with Chris Farley.
No.
No? Other
This is the original Orson Welles French champagne
From
commercial
the
that
size of
aired
that.
on TV.
Okay.
That's more John Goodman face right there.
Yeah.
But we can do it. John, you're not working currently, are you?
The taste of French champagne has always been
That's him
celebrated
talking.
for its excellence. It's a California champagne by Paul Masson, inspired by that same French excellence.
For my son?
It's
Oh.
fermented in a bottle, and like the best French champagne, it's vintage dated.
Pinky in the brain.
Ah.
Superb taste shouldn't be too surprising.
Yes.
This champagne
Brain.
doesn't come from
The
France,
brain.
but it was created by a man who did, Paul Masson. Paul Masson was still no wine for its time.
So, did any of you notice how a lot of that was voiceover and the audio really didn't match him at the end?
Yes. Tell me why.
Well, the reason was
He was drunk.
Damn you, Paul Masson.
these are the original outtakes trying.
Why don't you take one? Without that action beat.
Love this.
Just doing it.
He gets better, he gets better.
Why don't you take two? It has always been celebrated for its excellence.
What?
It's a California champagne by Paul Masson, inspired by that same French excellence. It's fermented in the bottle and like the best French champagne. It's vintage dated. So Paul Masson.
Stop.
Champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence. There is a California champagne by Paul Masson, inspired by that same French excellence. It's fermented in the bottle and like the best French champagne, it's vintage dated. So Paul Masson's.
So we'll piggy. But this is the top 10 things you didn't know about Darth Vader's suit. The clickbait from Red Letter Media. Haven't seen it.
Nope.
I've been waiting to show you guys this video.
California champagne.
You out there who love Star Wars, and that's pretty much everyone, am I right? You're familiar with Darth Vader, but how much do you really know about his iconic suit? The top 10 things you didn't know about Darth Vader's suit. Rich, are you ready to talk about Darth Vader's suit?
Yes, I am. I am more than ready to talk about Darth Vader's suit.
For the longest time, I thought it was just something some costume designer slapped together in the 1970s from Ralph McQuarrie's drawings. But it turns out there's a lot more we didn't know.
Are you saying that every one of these buttons has a specific function that was intended by George Lucas?
You're god right.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Clickbait. Number 1.
Now, this is all canon.
Following his near fatal duel with Obi-Wan Kenobi on Mustafar in 19 BBY, Darth Vader received a mobile life support system encased in a suit of distinctive black armor. Okay. Darth Vader's armor, serial number E-3778Q-1.
Wait, it has a serial number?
Yeah. Was
second one's
designed
dash
to
two.
maintain and protect the young Sith apprentice's charred body while exuding an air of intimidation and control. His suit followed an ancient Sith tradition in which the warriors of the dark side of the Force would adorn themselves in heavy armor. The suit's construction incorporated Sith alchemy to augment Vader's severely diminished physical strength and vitality. The suit provided a suite of life support systems and gave Vader relatively free movement without having to use a hover chair. I guess that's like a wheelchair. The suit was finally
Charles Xavier.
in 4 ABY when Vader absorbed Emperor Palpatine's powerful Force lightning in his face. Number
Somebody said it should have been 4
Like
BBQ.
traditional Sith armor and formed after ancient Sith droids,
Okay.
Darth Vader's suit was made to be both intimidating and fearsome. His helmet was black with a highly polished finish from voodoo hide.
A voodoo hide.
The helmet had a raised ridge that ran from between his eyes to the back of his head, where it merged into durasteel, obsidian, and plastisteel.
Plastisteel.
What's plastisteel?
It's steel with plastic?
Plastisteel. That means it looks like cheap plastic made in 1977.
Yes.
But the durability of steel. Two less jagged ridges swept curving over the eyes of Vader's mask proper and served to accent them. The jagged edges also acted as a means to deflect potential energy blows onto thick shoulder armor. The armor also came in 10 layers, each subdivided into 3 primary layers. The first primary layer was a self-sealing surface, similar in function to standard MNAT suits for officers. The outermost layer was a black insulating shell, and the inner layer was an Andois gel crystal matrix. The second primary layer was impact protection from physical shock due to the irreversible damage to the torso. The second layer was some ortho fabric. I guess it was just some ortho.
Just someone.
We don't know that. We know the other things for sure. We have the documents.
It was just some ortho fabric. Number 3. The helmet locked into the mask via a pressurized seal comparable in integrity to a Class C spacesuit.
A Class C.
That's not good enough for a
No.
Besides protection, it also stuck needles into Vader's skin when fixed in place, which fed neurological data on brainwave activity to the central chest computer. The mask's appearance was given a similar appearance to a skull, to enhance the fear factor of the Dark Lord of the Sith. Components for disassembled Soros sub DH-57 comlinks were also built into the mask's interior, as a result of it being a cheaper solution compared to a custom-designed new unit. Really concerned about costs.
Always.
It was also equipped with audio enhancers and sonic dampeners, the latter of which were also capable of reducing noise as a defense against sonic weapons. and they can extend Vader's hearing range to 40 kilohertz, enough to be higher than a Ronto.
What?
I guess a Ronto is a creature that can hear really well.
Remember those from episode 1? It was special edition.
Yep.
It also came
Special
equipped with a
hearing.
voice synthesizer, which upon picking up the electronic sounds from a built-in vocoder, translates Vader's otherwise weak speech to be audible, and also added a timbre, bass, and amplification to sound like an elderly black man.
Jason Derulo.
The collar, along with the chest armor, were also lined with electrodes that fed information status of the suit's performance during monthly maintenance sessions at M-Pal-Su Recon.
You don't
The
understand what
collar
that
was
means.
also equipped with feeding straws that allowed Vader to feed himself from an implanted bladder filled with rep mud vita paste.
Watch very much.
It's your mic.
I love that rep med vita paste. On his hands he wore black gloves, the right glove being a Mandalorian crush gaunt, fitted around one of Lord Khan's indestructible Sith amulets, and modified to include grip augmentation circuitry. The gloves, or more accurately gauntlets, were also made of micronized Mandalorian iron weave to protect Vader against glancing lightsaber blows during the patient's physical therapy sparring sessions.
What?
That's occupational therapy. Thank you very much. What do you do for a living?
I'm
Sword
picturing him
fight.
holding on to one of those railings.
He's got one hand in a walker and the other in a lightsaber.
There were also two shafts located on the left and right control box, acting as light function sensor arrays. The data slots accepted RepMed data wafers, 1X44A and 1X44AX, both kinds of data wafers, acting as light function sensor arrays. His belt, which went over his tabard, was also mostly black. It had three metal boxes around the front. Electromagnetic class. The other two boxes included
The audio's supposed to do this.
Containing two green buttons rectangular surfaces acting as the regulatory system activated indicator energy cells and adjustment emergencies, as well as backup calling tools. What? His nervous system sustained the least amount of damage from his injuries at Mustafar. Nonetheless, it was implanted with sensor webs, tracing activity running through his cerebellum along his spinal cord to the sensory and motor neurons, so it could be constantly and closely monitored. As such, if his neurons were ever unable to communicate with his metallic prosthetics, Vader would be rendered immobile, and a programmed alert would go out to M-Pal-Su Recon via hyperwave signal. Basically, they're saying if Vader fell down the stairs, was likely to go up.
I'm
I fall to the dark side and I can't get up.
Exactly. Number 5. Nearly a decade before his death, the Sith Lord Darth Plagueis and his apprentice Darth Sidious committed an act that directly violated the nature of the Force.
He was
To
violent.
advance their plan for galactic domination, the two Sith attempted to will a being of their own design into existence, pouring their abhorrent intent into waves through the Force to the countless midichlorians that were spread throughout the galaxy. The experiment failed, however, and the midichlorians, not willing to obey, not only failed in Plagueis' attempts, but countered in reprisal, conceiving a child with some lady named Shmi Skywalker.
Wait.
So basically what they're saying is Darth Plagueis and Darth Sidious shot their out all over the galaxy.
Basically, yeah.
Am I right?
They tried to impregnate spirituality itself with their evil.
I forgot
They
this
essentially raped God.
Oh.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Like really wrong. Number 6. So Palpatine finds Vader's ravaged body after he's
They're not blinded.
defeated by Obi-Wan Kenobi on Mustafar. We all remember these exciting
It
events.
was a great sword fight.
Exciting event.
Darth Sidious, newly declared Emperor of the Galactic Empire, soon arrived and snatched what remained of Vader's body from the bank of the lava river, placing him on a medical capsule and willing him to live. You remember this? He then took Vader back to Coruscant, repairing the damage to Vader's body through intensive cybernetic assistance, with the help from arcane Sith healing techniques. At the newly renamed Emperor Palpatine Surgical Reconstruction
That's what Super Power and Recon is.
Ah, makes sense. You enjoy that too much.
Palpatine Surgical Reconstruction Center.
That's because it's the first thing you're gonna do.
This is gonna happen again. So I'm gonna need to build a building.
That just makes me like.
We're not just gonna sell bagels. Next to the Sith Wars.
Does he have like his picture on the side too? Smiling with his monster face.
And there's a statue of him in the lobby going,
Willing to live.
With two adoring children looking up at it.
he was repaired and rebuilt over a period of several days by a hyper-sophisticated Ubrikian prototype DD-13 medical assistant droid named DD-13/HK, a 2-1B surgical droid by the name of 2-1B/DRX, and an enhanced medical assistant droid. The Ubrikian Galactic Chopper, DD-13/HK, oversaw the installation of cybernetic implants, prosthetic limbs, and synthetic organs. Vader's eyes, Vader's vocal cords, scalp, face, arms, legs, lungs, head, neck, buttocks, but especially lungs.
Yeah.
But especially
Yeah.
The surgery was also less
He's more machine than human now.
2-1B/DRX deliberately did not perform reconstructive cosmetic surgery to Vader's face, as it would be hidden behind a mask.
Oh, okay.
What about?
Vader appreciated that.
The Emperor Palpatine surgical reconstruction. Not plastic surgery, son.
Totally different.
Palpatine doesn't want you to be as he is.
Budgetary limitations and lack of effective equipment imposed by the Emperor also acted as a factor to shoddy attempts at repairs. Vader didn't rebel. 2-1B/DRX likewise ordered for Vader's helmet to be waxed with voodoo hide in the hopes of that the resulting shine would distract Palpatine from Vader's shortcuts that they were forced to implement during the surgery.
Make it something shiny.
No, the medical droid made his helmet shiny to distract Palpatine.
Oh my god.
Let's read that again.
Yeah.
2-1B, DRX likewise ordered for Vader's helmet to be waxed with voodoo hide in the hopes that the resulting shine would distract Palpatine from the shortcuts that they were forced to implement during the surgery. Oh wait,
This is from the distract Emperor Palpatine from the shortcuts they were taking.
they were taking shortcuts because of the budgetary limitations. So
Imposed by Palpatine in the Palpatine reconstructive surgery. There's a brilliant story going on there.
Number 7. During the first few months of living in the suit, Vader felt trapped within it. But after a short while, he had learned to use it for both intimidation and isolation. On one occasion, early on in Vader's career as a Sith, Palpatine threatened to use Force lightning against him when Vader expressed his pleasure with the dressing down Palpatine was giving him. Palpatine revealed on that occasion that he was well aware that the delicate circuitry that allowed Vader's life support systems to function were vulnerable to electrical discharges. Vader would later outfit his armor with electrical insulation.
I'm just amused with like the Emperor threatening Vader like a child. I use my electric pulse on you.
You know, I can short out your life support system.
That was all this money out.
How did he do that without Palpatine finding out about it? That's my question.
I don't know.
This document doesn't.
He didn't go to
I'm
Palpatine.
sure there's a paragraph in there somewhere explaining who the contractor was.
There's this cool electrician on Mos Eisley. Zip in, Spray insulation. It looks like shine.
Manufacturer.
I just cut this Vader in half.
This was done 13 years BBA. That wrote everything in there.
There were many problems with his armor. The synth skin that substituted for what was seared from his bones itched incessantly, and his body needed to be periodically cleansed and scrubbed of necrotic flesh.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Whose job is that?
And the incessant rasp of his breathing interfered with his ability to rest, let alone sleep. In rare moments it came to him, Vader's sleep was a nightmarish jumble of twisted, reoccurring memories that unfolded into excruciating sounds.
Memories of like Jar Jar Binks and working on their pod. Spinning, that's a good trick. That keep me up at nights too.
And when he attempted to rest, his cybernetic limbs strained against his ruined flesh. Worse, the implanted sensors lacked sufficient discrimination, so that too many ambient sounds were picked up, and their distance and direction were difficult to determine. Sometimes the sensors needled him with feedback, or attached echo or vibrato effects to even the faintest noise. I'll just fucking kill myself. The pectoral armor that protected the artificial lung weighed down on him, as did the electrode-studded collar that supported the oversized helmet. The delicate systems of the mask.
The oversized heavy helmet.
I guess he had to sleep in it. Maybe this was before his chamber.
That's what you get for joining the Monster Mash.
Pledging your loyalty to the Monster Man. And the ragged scars in his hairless scalp, which owed as much to what he had endured on Mustafar as to attempts at emergency transplants of hair follicles during his trip back to
Hair plugs.
I guess the joke said the weighty cloak and pectoral plating so restricted his movements that he had difficulty lifting his arms over his head, only doing so when necessary.
So it's like when you had to throw Emperor Palpatine into a pit.
Yeah.
Number 8.
Oh, yeah.
The monitoring panel beeped frequently and for no reason. The light seeming to serve as only a steady reminder of his vulnerability.
It's designed to annoy him.
Yeah, I think so. His electrical systems were woefully delicate, and he was forced to protect his life
but I hate you.
while doing it. The system was so vulnerable that Antoninus Tremaine was once able to deactivate Vader's entire suit by pressing one button on his chest control panel.
Who knew that?
Not to kill you? What?
I'm just picturing Emperor Palpatine like talking to the suit designer.
That's the best kung fu movie ever.
I want a button on his control panel that just beeps every now and then.
The fingerboard.
just to annoy him.
Put an alarm clock inside his helmet. 15 minutes.
Every 2 hours, I want him not to be able to breathe. Just for a minute.
Don't everyone leave me. Instead of using Durasteel for his leg prosthesis, the medical droids had substituted an inferior alloy and had failed to inspect the strips that protected the electromotive lines.
Durabronze.
As a result, the inner lining of the pressurized bodysuit was continually snagging on places where the strips were anchored to the knee and ankle joints. Additionally, the tall boots were a poor fit for his artificial feet.
The man can't even get shoes then. This guy can't catch a breath.
These devices made it even more difficult for him to move with ease, much less any grace. Raised on the heel, the cumbersome footwear canted him slightly forward, forcing him to move with exaggerated caution, lest he stumble or topple over.
Do you think that happened often? And how do you react if you're like the stormtrooper that's in the hallway when Darth Vader falls on his face in front of you?
Are you okay? Are you okay?
Clunk, 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 clunk.
Worse, they were so heavy they often felt rooted to the ground, or as if he was moving with high gravity. He even felt he needed to use the force to move. Number 9. As of 0 BBY, I think that's a year.
Oh, okay.
Like a star date, maybe? Vader was given an opportunity to have a new suit built for him. The suit would have been far more advanced, technologically superior, and much more comfortable than his original.
Magic insurance won't cover it.
Basically, it's too expensive. They didn't have a budget for it.
And number 10. Despite how cumbersome it was, the suit did provide Vader with a number of benefits.
Get the thing with him, but
First,
He's a man stuck in a giant coffin.
the first and most obvious was that the suit functioned very well in its role as armor, providing Vader with extraordinary amount of durability, allowing him to shrug off otherwise fatal damage or injury.
So he can't move, he's in constant pain, and he's constantly getting shot. Oh, I want to die.
That's what designed to deflect the laser blast down to his chest armor.
You can't shoot me in the head, it'll just deflect.
Also, don't shoot me here.
or push just one button.
Why not put it in the back? Put it right here.
Oh no, they shot me on my computer, now it's beeping more.
I'm not gonna sleep tonight.
Now it's beeping every 4 seconds. It's
The shoulder armor itself weighed 12.2 kilograms overall, was resistant to both blasters and energy blades. A drawback, however, is that its weight made it difficult for Vader to raise his lightsaber to full height.
That's his style. That's the Umagoo. Favors heavy, strong, slow attacks.
Umagoo?
Umagoo.
Was that a real word? Is that on Wikipedia?
I'm sure.
Is that?
I'm sure there's a name for it. Usukai Ken. I'm gonna say Usukai Ken style. Ooh. Yeah, because that sounds Japanesey. That sounds like karate.
Wikipedia. I'll change it before you check it out.
Famous Jedi war woman who he had an injury that he couldn't move his elbows as fast, so he had to hold his arms out straight and swing the saber.
Usukai Ken also died shortly after inventing the style.
Yes.
Well, Rich, have you learned anything that you didn't know about Darth Vader's suit?
What I've learned today is that at the end of Jedi, when Darth Vader says it's too late for me now to take my mask off, he was lying. He just wanted to die. Oh no! Oh!
And on that note,